Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the call for the night. If you can hear me, please put the letter Y in the question box or in the chat box, either one. Okay, if you can hear my audio, please put, okay, thank you. Appreciate that, David. All right, so this is actually going to be the last part of the 30-day video reseller challenge. This is a post sort of wrap up of the behind the scenes videos. And if you have 30-day video reseller challenge, you'll know that part of the product was we did some behind the scenes videos. We stopped mid-launch and just kind of talked about what was happening and about some adjustments that we made. So, as you're doing your launch, I think you'll find that whole process interesting. And so what I wanted to do was to wrap up the discussion about this product and about what else we could have done and what else we can do going forward. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the box, either the question box or the chat box. I've got both of them in front of me, so I'll be able to see it. And let's go forward. If you don't have the 30-day video reseller challenge, it is still available on plrshow.com/30dvrc. You can still pick that up there. Very few people, if anyone, who are going to be here or watching this, most of you probably already have this, but if you don't, you can still pick it up at plrshow.com/30dvrc. Okay, so this is our product launch autopsy, and we're going to look at the dead carcass of this product. And we're going to talk about just some things that could have gone better, some things that we can do in the future. And so we want to look at this as the challenge product problem. And actually, this is about the challenge product, but this could be true of any product that you launch, what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to get into. And basically, this product underperformed on launch day, and it did not do what we would have liked to do on launch day. And you might have even seen the video that, mid first day of the launch, we really felt like we needed to make some adjustments. And I don't think that it was the copy, actually, because typically, a product like this should have done much better. And actually, it did not really even convert after the changes were made. And so that was really not what we wanted to see happen. We even made a price adjustment, and that really did not do it either. And I'm going to talk specifically about the pricing issue because I think that's important and a lesson learned, not only for us, but I think it can be one for anyone going forward. It was sufficiently promoted. So the problem was not that we did not have enough affiliates. We finally got enough affiliates to see it. We had not produced something in quite a while, and so people were asking us when are you guys going to be launching anything? Are you and John or Charles, are you going to be launching something by yourself? I said, yeah, I'm going to be launching something, and so people were ready to promote, and but it wasn't promoted outside of my network. So of the people that I know of JVs, the people with whom I have personal relationships, those are the people that promote it. And these are people that typically I don't have to tell them I have something going on. If they see what I have, they know my name, they're going to promote. But there are a whole lot of affiliates outside of those people. And I like for them to find out about it too. If they have an interest in it, I want them to go ahead and pick it up and promote. And so no one outside of my own personal network promoted. And so that was another problem. And I'm going to speak to that here tonight. And in all actuality, I'm actually glad a lot of those people didn't perform for affiliates. So so this was not all a happy story. And anytime you have a product launch, it's going to be hard to resurrect when there's no momentum on launch day. So when it doesn't happen on launch day and there's nothing happening to that degree, it's kind of hard to get back. And so you've really got to try to, whenever you're doing a launch, or even if you're just doing a release, you've got to try to make something happen on that first day when there is a splash. When you hit the splash, you want to have your biggest day, because the tendency is, and there are some exceptions for some products, but typically you're going to have your best day your first day, right? And so I want to come back to this because typically I see this among product creators. I've done it myself. In this case, I probably did it and kind of recognized that it was not going to help. Pricing does not help if it's not going to happen. So resist the urge to lower your price, thinking that price is going to help. And typically that's not going to be your problem. It's never the problem with your product, especially if you felt like it was appropriately priced when you launched it. You felt like you were already giving people 10 times the value inside of that product, then the problem is not going to be your pricing. It may be something else in the perception of the customer, something you didn't get across to them, but lowering the price by $1, lowering the price by $2, lowering the price by $3 typically is not going to help the situation. And so here's the problem that I think the basic problem that going forward, and I knew this going in. I knew this, and I didn't, I did not follow my better voices or my better urges. There was not enough value explained. Either I didn't explain it, or there wasn't enough value in it. And I know that there was value in the bonus. I did not do a good job of explaining the fact that there was a second course inside of the bonus. And so because of that, I probably think that it was a little jumbled in terms of what actually happened. So there was not enough value. Sometimes you have a situation where there's not enough value in what you're offering as a bonus. That was not the case in this case. I think I had enough value in the bonus. I did not explain it properly at the point of launch. So what's the easy way out when the launch doesn't go well? So what could what could you probably do? What tends to be the thing that you default to? Here's the things that I have done in the past, right? Product launch does not go well. I'll bring it back during a 4th of July at a discount. And so I have a 4th of July sale, an annual 4th of July sale. Something doesn't have enough sales in it, or the sales that I feel like it should have made, then I'll bring it back during a 4th of July sale, and I'll bring it back at a discount. You might ask, why am I telling you this? I'll tell you that in a minute. Another thing that I've done is I have brought things back at the end of the year. So right around Black Friday, I'll put together something and I'll bring it together at a discount. You've probably seen that from a lot of people. If I feel like it didn't get enough during the course of the year, I'll bring it back, at the end of the year, and again at a discount. I've also sold them at retirement, right? Retirement sale. And that's not new to anyone. I mean, that's not an invention that I made. A lot of people do retirement sales, but I like to retire products because I know I got to update them, first of all. Second of all, some products just get to the point where they're outdated, and I don't even want them to be sold. So right at the end of their useful life to the customer, I will retire them, and typically I'll discount them. And so that's an easy way out. And again, I'll tell you why that I feel that way here in a minute. Because basically, all of these are ways of lowering the price. That is why it is the easy way out. And again, pricing is never the solution. It's never the problem. And what lowering the price does is it leads to longer term problems. So don't be quick to lower your price even after the fact if something didn't sell the way you thought it sold. Because here's what happens in people's brain. They will not say this to you directly, but sometimes in the back of your brain, say, you know what, I'll just wait, when this thing comes out. They've got something really cool comes out, but I know this guy. I know he'll put it on sale in July. I know he'll put it on sale at the end of the year and I'll get it then. And so that's what happens in people's brains. They never say it directly, but that sort of happens. You say, well, you know what? No, I'm not going to go right now. I'd like to have it, but no, I'm not going to use it right now. So I'm going to wait. And this guy will discount it, so I'll just wait. Other thing that goes off in people's brain is they say, you know what, it's not quite enough in here, right? I would like to see more in here, and so I didn't see it, and so I'm just not ready to pull the trigger. Again, all this is happening in people's subconscious. it's not happening on the conscious level. Something about it, you know what, there should be more here, right? I should be getting more. And so they're hesitant. And so they get to a point where not only are they hesitant, they just cool off about it, right? They're hot and heavy when they see it, and then they say, you know what, I'm not really feeling all that hot about it. I don't, there's something missing here. The other thing is, now, whatever your core promise is, now this is not always the case when you're doing something where you're selling content, because there is no core promise with content. But you have an information product, sometimes people say, you know what, I don't believe you. And again, all that's happening at the subconscious level. You have a central promise that this is going to solve a specific problem, and that person saying in the back of their mind, you know what, I don't believe it. And so because of that, they're hesitant. And sometimes that happens. And you're going to run into that anytime you launch a product, especially when you launch a product that you're selling to marketers. Marketers are probably the most skeptical people in the world, at the same time, the most optimistic people in the world. We are optimistic when it comes to ourselves because we want to get something we think, you know what, we probably know it's not going to make us $1 million tomorrow, but someplace in the back of our mind, we're optimistic it might, right? So we get it, right? We're just going to be curious. We want to see if it does. But most of us are a little skeptical. And basically what's happening is, people see it and they say, you know what, I don't really believe that. I don't believe I'm going to get rich tomorrow. I don't believe that's going to happen to me. And so that could be happening with your product. But again, I want to say this, right? Please do not think that pricing is going to be your problem. It typically is not going to be, right? Pricing is typically not going to be your problem. What's the general rule about information products? What can we expect about information products? Number one, when you sell an information product and you name it and people see the name of it, it shouldn't take a lot of work to understand. I think the guy's name is Owen Croft. He says that if people have to burn mental calories to understand what you're offering, then that little bit of work on their part turns them off, right? So the name should not be work to understand. And this has just been my experience. When somebody sees something, they ought to read the name. They ought to know what they're getting before they see it. When they hear the name or they see it written, it ought to automatically communicate what this is going to give them somehow or another. So naming is important. Naming can be cool. Naming can be eye-catching. But most important, what naming does is it gives people this idea that they don't have to take work. They don't have to work to understand what it is. If it does, then you've got to really wow them once they get to the page. But this particular problem didn't have a wow factor. And 30-day video reseller challenge took some work to understand, right? It takes some work to kind of get to the end of it. And it takes work to understand exactly what are we talking about. And so here's the question about the product. Should we lower the price? Right? Should we lower the price? That is ultimately the problem with that, the question that we have to answer. So what's the answer? Right? Should we just lower the price to this? And I say no. I say the answer to that question is no. The price should not go down. Pricing is not the problem. The problem is that people did not believe it. We specified what we said it would do. We said it would be a great product to have a challenge with. And so if it didn't sell enough, not enough people believe that. And so what we have to do, especially within the biz op market, is, and I think you know this, within our space, I call biz op, we call JVZoo Warrior Plus, ClickBank. The only way you overcome that quickly without redoing your product is incentives. And to quote someone about, what it said about economics, right? Incentives matter. Incentives matter. And so if you don't have either proof, where in other words, you don't have proof that the concept is going to work, if you don't have social proof, then you're going to have to offset that with bonuses. Now, I want you to understand what I said. You can overcome any problem with your product launch, any problem. You can overcome any problem of non-sales. You overcome that with bonuses, right? So if you can do that before the launch starts, the better off you're going to be. Most people don't, right? You don't want to play catch up on day 2 of your launch by saying, oh wait, it's not doing what I think it should do. I'm going to add some bonuses. It's already too late, right? It's going to be too late to put to do CPR on your product. If you came to the launch day and you didn't have enough bonuses in there to offset your lack of proof and your lack of social proof. So again, if you have a lot of proof and a lot of social proof, you're not going to need a lot of bonuses, right? There's an inverse relationship between the two. But if you have enough, if you have a lot of bonuses, right, you can offset social proof or the lack thereof. So what about lowering pricing? I said that's not the answer, right? What about lowering pricing? And I say that doesn't work for not the reason that you think. Some people think it's because it makes people mad, right? In other words, somebody already bought and you lowered the price, they got it, and then the price is already lower. And sometimes maybe and maybe not that's the case. I find that our market, because I know I'm not like that, right? If I get it and then somebody gets it a month later for $1 less, I'm not stressed about that. And most people are not going to be stressed about that. So you don't need to worry about that part of it. So don't not lower the price because of that. That's just not necessarily going to make it. And if you really think that's a problem, you can just refund people back $2, right? If you think that's going to be a problem, go to all the people that bought on the first day and say, hey, you know what? I lowered the price. I'll give you back $2, right? You could do that, right? You could think that lowering the price dilutes the value of your other products, and in some case, there's a little truth in that. Right. So if you lower the price of everything else, and again, in back of my mind, I'm saying, I'm going to wait. Right. This guy, he started the launch at that price before and he just lowered the price. Here, is that just what he does? I'm going to wait. Right. Sometimes it happens, sometimes maybe not. Again, that's not necessarily a problem. But the issue is, you can think about this in this way. You can make it sell. It's probably going to be less profitable. Ultimately, if you decide that you're going to continue on with it, you still got to expend the energy and time on another launch. That is the reason why pricing does not help you. Lowering the pricing doesn't help you. It's going to always be less profitable for you to lower the price because you're going to have to produce more. Right? That product is going to sell, but it's not going to give you what you want. That means you're going to have to, in order to accomplish your goal, you're going to have to work harder and do something else. You're going to have to go through the launch process all over again because it didn't happen on launch day and because it didn't happen the way you thought and felt like it should. Now, I'm going to tell you, probably plan on not discounting at all, right? And that's probably not what you expect to hear, but I'm serious about this. Plan not on discounting at all, right? Ever. And so how can we avoid discounting, right? So we got to squeeze more profit out of the product, right? So we can do the same product. We can just get it to a different audience. Maybe we need to find some different affiliates. Maybe we need to find somebody in a slightly different niche. Maybe we need to get it to people with some paid traffic. Maybe we need to get it to some people in social media. Maybe we need to do a workshop and try to sell from the workshop. Maybe we need to put it on our timeline in Facebook. Same product, different audience. We just got to find a different audience. Wherever you launched it, find a different audience, a different set of people, right? Same category of people who buy the product, different audience, right? Maybe you want to find that audience and you can get it to them, right? They can be people who are new to your list. So in other words, maybe it's not a different audience. Maybe you just say, you know what? It's March. I launched this in January. So now what I'm going to do is for all of the people that came after I launched this product, I'm going to show it to them again, but I'm not going to change the price. So again, it could be that, the people that are with you, they say, familiarity breeds contempt, right? Maybe it's just a little stale. And so the people that are new to you, they say, you know what, this is really cool. I'm going to get it. So in other words, people new to your list will buy something that the people old to your list will not. Sometimes there are going to be people who are new to buy your product. So in other words, somebody buys your product, they come to the inside, come to your download page, and you've got something on your download page, and they're going to see it and they say, you know what, I'm going to get this because I like the first thing they did. Now I'm going to try it. So in other words, somebody who's new to your products, maybe they didn't see this when it came out, but when they got to your download page, they wanted something else like it and they decided they're going to get it, right? So you can do that. The other way to do this is you can use the same product, you can increase the value, and you can keep the price the same. So in other words, after the fact, now I don't know, some cases you're going to go back and relaunch the product, but what you're going to go back and do is you are then going to put more value into that product. And I do not necessarily mean bonuses here. I mean to the product. You're going to go back to the core of the product. You're going to give it a slight redesign. In this case, I don't think you need to redesign the graphics unless they help you to explain the increased value. And so you got to know how many more sales you can realistically get. So you need to have some idea of what something like this has sold in the past for you, right? And if you think you're looking at this, you're thinking, you know what? I expected this to do 50 sales more. I expect this to do 100 sales more, and it didn't do it. So if you think, you know, realistically, I ought to have 25 to 50 more sales of this, then I can go back and do a slight redesign and add something cool to the product. And so the question is always going to be, is your product evergreen enough to do that? So in other words, you know, we've talked about the concept of being a perennial seller. You want to start creating things that, you know, in 3 months, they're not going to be out of style. So you don't want to start creating stuff that, you know, 1 year from now, you can't go back and update and sell another price, or you can't go back and you can't add something to it to make it cool. So try to keep your titles, try to keep your subjects, try to keep your products evergreen enough so that they can be cooler. The core of them can be cool next month, next week, next year. So here's the question: can you relaunch next year with increased value? That's a great question, because if you can, what you can do is you can increase the value inside the product and sell it at the same price. Don't do anything to it. What I like best is same product, increased value, increased price. I like that one best, and that's possible, right? We can do that. And so here's the question: if you ask yourself the right question, and again, here's a case where I would not go to social media with this. So don't go to your Facebook group, don't go to your forum, don't go to your blog and start asking people, hey, you know, what would you pay more for this if I would say use your intuition, or go to a mentor, go to a coach, and talk to that person. But you got to be able to kind of assess what you should realistically add to the product to increase the value. Right? And so you got to know sort of what people want. You got to have your finger on the pulse, and you've got to be able to answer the question, what else can I put in my product that I know that people want? If you can answer that question, you can always resurrect any product, and you can always go and add more value, and not just sell at the same price, but to increase the price, right? Okay, any questions? Any questions? I'm now going to go over some things that are not going to be part of the PLR or part of this. So this is not going to be this. It may be part of the recording, but I'm just going to kind of talk a little bit off the record here. Right, I'm going to talk about a few things specifically with respect to the 30-day video reseller challenge. So let's get into this. So this is not going to be in the recording, and so just so that you'll know, and this is just really personal, I'm opposed to discounts, right? I really am. I don't like them. I don't like discounting information products. I love to buy them. I don't like to do them. And if I never had to discount another thing, I wouldn't. Quite frankly, I will not be putting 30-day video reseller challenge in the 4th of July sale at a lower price regardless. That's not going to happen. I'm not doing that anymore. And I'll tell you why here in a minute. So really, just so that you'll know, 4th of July sale, this 4th of July, I'm going to launch something brand new and just give it the 4th of July price. So I've already got something planned. I've already got something planned for Black Friday. I'm already working on it. And so I've got something massive for Black Friday, and I've got something massive for July 4th, and it's going to be new, right? And so basically I'm going to approach this like any store would approach something. You bring something cool, and you sell it at a great price, and it's going to be something that people have not seen or heard of. At the same time, though, I know why a big sale works, right? Especially with information products, especially in our space, JVZoo Warrior Plus. And it works because of familiarity. Because somebody saw something and they said, you know what, I really want to get this, and they forget about it, and they say, you know what, something else comes along. And then you have this big sale, a big discount, and then people are familiar with it. It was all in their brain. They say, oh, I'm going to get this now. But again, I hate discounting. I seriously, I really hate discounting, and I don't like bundling things. I really don't. I'm opposed to it, and I don't want to do it anymore. I'll just say that. And here's a double but. I don't like the idea of people being familiar with something and getting it at a discount later. So here's the question: what am I going to do with the 30-day video reseller challenge? What am I going to do with it? Right? I hope. Doesn't mean I won't, but I seriously hope I never do another discount again in this space ever. I really hope I never do another one ever again. And here's why. I'm going to say here, what I want to be for the rest of my time is that if somebody's going to get a discount, it's because they're an ultimate insider. That is my firm. That is my absolute goal. I do not want, and again, I'm not being stingy. I'm just saying I do not want to discount anything ever again unless they're inside of Ultimate Insider. And it is because it really just does not feel right for me to bundle something at a cheaper price when somebody else got something for me, especially the information product that's evergreen. So I don't want to do it. Here's what I'll be doing with 30-day video reseller challenge, just so you'll know. So most of you have this already, so it's okay for me to say this. I like to test different price points. And so basically, I'm going to add some checklists and cheat sheets. Now, again, if you've already got this, I'm going to be adding them to the download page, so you will get it. So if you're watching this, you've already got it. You'll get it. So I do not want to. So you'll get this. So I want to add some checklists and cheat sheets, and I want to keep the price at $17. Right, that's where it is right now. What I want to do after that is I want to add 30 over-the-shoulder videos. So this is going to take some work on my part, but it's going to be a test. And because what I want to do then is I eventually want to move the price to $37. So here's what I want to do. I want to add 30 over-the-shoulder videos, and haven't quite figured out what I'm going to teach, but I want to launch this at its current price at $17. I don't want to lower the price to $9 and sell it at a discount. I want people to know the value. I want to put $270 worth of value in it so I can sell it at $27. Right? That's what I want to do. So the only way I can see to do that is to add in 30 over-the-shoulder videos. And so I've got to find the subject matter in order to do that. Maybe they'll match the live course, right? Maybe they'll match that. But I want to do some of it as interviews, and I want to do some of it as over-the-shoulder, right? And then I want to see how many copies that's going to sell at $27 to $37 when I add that in. Right, then what I want to do now, again, you've already got this product, you're going to get this. So it's going to be all, it's going to go on the download page. If you're watching this and you have 30-day video reseller challenge, you're not going to have to rebuy it. All this is going to be on the download page. Again, I don't know when this is going to happen, but this is what I want to do. I want to add in 30 live sessions. Now I do not want to do the same thing I did over, but there used to be a product called the 30-day challenge. It was done by Ed Dale back in the day. And what I would like to do is I would like to do 30 interviews and get 30, just 30 people on each subject matter, and then do that. So that's what I want to do. But I want to do that and increase the price to $97 at that point, because I think then that I've got $1,000 worth of value in it, right? Let's see. Eric has got maybe the OTS on the 30-day. Okay, Eric, when you say OTS, what do you mean? Maybe I'm not sure what you mean by OTS. Okay, but I'm going to keep going. Over the shoulder. Okay, so maybe yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. So I want to add in 30 over the shoulder videos, and I'm going to do, and maybe what I need to do, right? Okay, I understand you now. Right, just do the exact same thing that I taught live, and then do it over the shoulder. So yeah, Yeah, that's really what I want to do. And then I'd like to then increase the price to $97, right? So I'd like to launch it at 37, and then so in other words, I want to make the product worth 97, and I don't want there to be any. I want people to look at it and know it's worth $97, and then I want to launch the product at $37. And then after 5 days, I'm going to bump it to 97, and that's where it'll stay. So this is a bit of an experiment. So the thing is, the value's got to be 10 times more than 10 times $97 or $1,000. And it should be visible and provable. So somebody ought to look at it and they ought to be able to say, you know what, I can see it. I'm getting the real deal here, so I'm going to go ahead and get this. I may rebrand and add new graphics, but I don't want to, right? Because that's not the experiment. The experiment is that same product, just different value. So I don't want to add new graphics. I do want to add new products, right? Because I think the graphics are cool. I will also now another way to do this, and I have talked about this in my pricing. If you've seen my pricing, my discussion on pricing, I talk about the funnel process. And another way to do this, right, is I could just break out the launch formula, the behind the scenes videos, launch that as a separate information product. And I still may do that, right? So in other words, I just break that part out, I fill in the gaps, and it's going to be how to do a launch, how to resurrect a launch, how to add to it. And then that'll just sell not as a PLR product, but as a straight up information product. So I might do that. And I probably will do that too, but that's not gonna be tomorrow, obviously, because I need time to see these other things and what they do and to kind of document them, right? And then, you know, I could also, you know, get a copywriter. So that's another thing. And so I'm looking at that also. All right. So that's really it. So if you don't have, you're watching this, you do not have 30-day video reseller challenge. Now, again, I cannot promise you when I'm going to have all this stuff, but it will be in there at some point. If you don't have it, you can get it at plrshow.com/30DVRC. You actually are getting two products in one, and you are getting the PLR, and you're also getting the behind the scenes videos, of which this is one. Right? Okay, and also recently we talked about the fact that there is like a cloud-based drive that I think is pretty cool. I did a review of it, and you can take a look at that at plrshow.com/recent. Okay, I got a question from Eric. Would you get a copywriter for time reasons or for skills reasons? Well, results reasons. So in other words, if I know I have $1,000 worth of value and I can't sell it at $97, right? Then maybe the problem is I need a pair of fresh eyes at this. So I'm comfortable with my skill level, but if it's not selling and the value is there, then I'm thinking then I got to get somebody to kind of approach this differently in a way that I would not. So typically, yeah, so it could be I'm just a little too close to it, and I'm too close to the market. Then I'm not thinking rationally about how to explain it to people. And so then what I do is I ask somebody else to take a shot at it. I'm in a couple of groups where, you know, I know some copywriters, and I would just have to pay them what they'd be asking for. Now, obviously, you know, I'd then be looking at trying to get that product in front of some different audiences in order to do that. Right? Good, but good question. Appreciate that. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. So once again, if you don't have this, you've kind of heard me explain this to you. It's a 30-day video reseller challenge. I'm going to be doing some upgrades. Again, I can't say when they're going to happen. So you've got the PLR in there now, and you've got the behind the scenes videos. You can get rolling with the PLR in there now. But I will be adding to this over time. Again, I just don't know when that's going to happen and at what point I will be adding these things to the download page. You will not have to do anything to get the upgrades. They will just be on the download page. I will be explaining this, at some point in my email when I actually do it and it is there. Right. So I don't want to start writing and say, I'm about to do this and it's going to happen in a month. I don't want to do that. Once I finish it and I put it there, I will then write the entire community and I will say, hey, it's already there. And so really the next jump in this will be, you'll see this being offered again at the price where it's at right now, which is $17. All right. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so we're good. We're really only at 39 minutes. So maybe about 9 minutes longer than I wanted to go, but I think the last 9 minutes were worth doing. So, all right. So, any other questions? All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great weekend and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.